sir.
you know?
No,
So it's just moving it, but there's also a need for
Right.
increase to try to get where we need to be, you know?
The
I got-
10%.
I got a question before we start this one. Do we need to adjourn the last city council meeting? 'Cause we didn't have a quorum to adjourn it the other day. We've never adjourned the last city
Well, that was
council
a-
meeting.
Yeah, we're still in session.
We recessed it, and then just me and Gary came last week, so we've never closed.
I would adjourn
Yeah,
that
we're
and
still in
open it.
session.
So,
You know, I mean, if you wanna pass that stuff, we're
Yeah.
still in session.
I mean, we got a special meeting advertised. We can do it
Same, thing,
tonight.
yeah. I would
So-
adjourn that meeting and then open this meeting.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. So we probably, before we open this, we need to go ahead and adjourn. What date was that last city council meeting?
20,
But I guess,
21st?
the 13th? No, the 11th,
20th, what, 20th.
July.
You met on the 18th.
Okay, the
you
July
recessed
20th was the
to
recess to the
20th.
20th.
We didn't have a quorum on the 20th.
Okay. So we need a motion to to adjourn the July 20th recessed meeting, council meeting from the 18th, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Let you have that one.
Do I have a motion? Motion to adjourn by Mr. Seal. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Zimmerman. Vote the motion.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 6-0. I just thought about that. So, okay, we'll, call the order, the special meeting July 27th, 2023. Let's see, meeting. First thing up is, well, we did that. Do we do it again real quick or no? The Department of Health thing or what?
Well,
Just call if there's any
Yeah.
comments and can't hurt.
Okay, well, first thing up is a public hearing, Department of Health SRF loan for water well. 5:33 PM is called to order. Anybody here to speak regarding SRF loan for the water well?
I'd like this to extend to the Tuesday's meeting also,
This,
public discussion on this,
the water well?
yes. Because this was only posted yesterday, and I wanna give, people ample time who hadn't had an opportunity.
it was advertised in the
Huh?
newspaper. Yeah, it was in the newspaper,
I understand that.
right, but not posted in
understand.
City Hall, you mean?
Okay.
I understand what you're saying. I'd like to have this pushed on to the next meeting so that there's gonna be a lot of people in the meeting. So give them the opportunity to talk.
But it was advertised correctly.
Well, I know, I'm not saying it
Okay.
wasn't. I'm just
I
saying,
guess, okay.
this is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, you saying it was just out there today, but it was advertised in the paper and all.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
look, a lot of people don't get that paper.
Oh, yeah.
If it's an Echo, come on now.
All right, so you wanna just see this for discussion on the next city?
Yes, I
council
would like to
meeting?
put public comments, public hearing again for Tuesday's meeting, since we're only a couple days away, if that's okay. If everybody doesn't object to it.
That's not next Tuesday.
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
week
following
after.
Tuesday.
Eighth.
The week
It's this
after.
Tuesday
No,
coming
wait,
up, correct?
eighth.
The 8th, Gary.
31st.
Oh, I'm
Monday.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a week out.
First is Monday.
I'm sorry.
weeks out.
Well, the,
I know, I was
Tuesday,
confused
the
about
eighth.
that too. I'm like, damn,
Oh, good.
Got
Then
extra
I'll have to
week.
come in on Tuesday.
you got an extra
Yeah.
week, huh?
Yeah, I got another week off, so.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I was in a hot
We'll
sun
see you
today,
next
okay?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm in break.
What's,
I'm baked.
Come in with little Ronnie next Tuesday.
what's the deadline to stay on task for all grant guidelines or application?
That's what I was trying to figure out, because, I think we have to have everything turned in by August 1st.
Yeah.
There was a deficiency. Do you still have that, access to that? Email from, that from Harry?
I mean, I'm okay with discussing it, but I'd rather
No,
keep it
it's-
approved and,
You can go ahead and continue proceeding. That just,
Yeah.
because part of it, we're looking to see if the forgiveness piece falls into place.
yeah, cause
So we can still keep it on the agenda, let the public speak,
yes,
but continue to proceed.
That's what I'm
At
saying. I don't wanna stop
sometimes,
the
at any
proceeding.
time
Yeah.
during this process, the council changes their mind.
Yeah, this
Y'all
is-
can take action.
Yeah,
yes.
we don't have to take it
You know,
if
we
we
can
get
just
it or whatever, we
proceed.
change our mind.
Yeah, I don't wanna affect the process and hurt ourselves and cost $2.5 million possibly that can be forgiven, you know?
Yeah, because
But
there
you
was
can
a
do it on your
deadline.
regular meeting, have a
Uh-huh.
comment
No, I don't.
section.
What the hell I did
It
with
doesn't
that.
hurt y'all.
in that letter from the Department of Health.
There is a deadline on it, because I remember we went
Yeah.
back and forth on the idea
That's
of
why we
having
had to
another
get it-
special meeting,
To get it submitted.
and we had to do it.
Well, I don't wanna hold up no paperwork, in my opinion, right now. I mean, I'm fine with putting it on there for public opinion and public comment
Yeah,
the
we
next meeting, but
discuss
not
it
stop the process.
all along in the meantime.
I don't wanna do that, yeah.
And we've satisfied with the 5 o'clock discussion per the advertisement.
Yeah.
We've satisfied the loan requirement for
The 5:30,
For a
Yeah.
public hearing.
the
Public
public hearing.
yes. So. So if that's the case,
It's got it in my company email. I'll have to log into them. I got it in my
I know that,
email.
there were two deficiencies that they noted. One was some IGR letters, intergovernmental review letters, which we have all those. We got the last one in last week,
okay,
and then this public hearing.
okay.
And that'll finalize the facilities plan, and then that's what's all due.
Any other council comment on this item?
No.
So, y'all wanna go ahead and just proceed and adjourn this and put public comment on the
Yeah, we
August 8th meeting? I'm
Just
sorry.
under council, just put, discussion or public, availability for public comment.
Okay,
Give, again, it lets council,
Yeah.
public know that there's a
Okay.
discussion.
Put it on the agenda.
all right. So we're gonna go ahead and adjourn the public hearing for Department of Health SRF loan for water well at 5:39 PM. Motion, Mr. Seal. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Zimmerman. Vote to motion.
Aye.
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 Aye. 6-0. Thank y'all. And will you make sure you add that to the August 8th agenda, Ms. Caitlin? Yes, thank you. Okay, next up, action items. Motion to approve property insurance quote provided by Betts Rossetti for the new police department on Main Street.
You gotta stay the whole meeting, Jason.
Yeah, come on now. We need company in here.
Pizza.
Any, is there? This is on the building itself, not the flood, the first one, so. Is there any discussion on that?
I'd question, I mean, I found the answer because it's only through August through February. When February 26th is our new 2024, our new policy would go in effect, would it be included as building 24 in that? So 53,000 for the 7 months or 7.5 months
Okay,
is what it was looking at. But yeah, I read through it, it looks fine.
so, just a prorate there.
Yep.
Alright, okay,
I was like, why in the heck, it's only 7 months? And I got, found my new policy, I'm like, because it's expires.
alright,
Let me see what my notes say for, I think I have to try to find that email.
For the term. It's not 1 year. It's tying it to the current policy.
that we can keep all our property on the same schedule, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, no notes.
And we-
4,411,359.
We did get the CO on that police station today. He handed it to you
yeah,
this morning.
Cool.
Good.
So insurance will go in effect August 1.
August 1st, yep.
The
Motion
engineers
to
were
approve,
confirming that today too with me.
okay.
Motion approved Betts Rossetti proposal for insurance, for the, building insurance for the new police department.
Motion,
Total
Mr.
of $53,281.
Second.
Second, Hoffman. Any further discussion? We'll give Gary 1 second to get back. We'll go ahead and vote the motion.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain since I was
Okay.
partially out the room.
Alright, aye. So 5, 1 abstain. B is motion to approve flood insurance quote totaling $3,665 for the new police department building on Main Street from Betts Rossetti, and authorize administration to execute insurance documents to secure insurance.
Yeah, so this is 500,000 building coverage, 100,000 content coverage. Total of 36 $3,665.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
Motion?
Motion, Mr. Seal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Zimmerman. Any further discussion? Vote to motion.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. Motion to approve excess flood insurance quote from Best Rossetti for the new police department on Main Street.
Yeah, so this is $1 million policy for the building and 500,000 contents, and it's cheaper
Huh.
than the
That's what I was,
first policy
Only $1 million.
for the building and 500 for
But the
content.
way you look at,
Okay.
the $500,000,
Okay, I thought that says,
the
okay.
first policy reacts first.
building and then zero for
Oh, content,
contents.
okay, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I looked at, okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I looked at that wrong.
Okay. So, not bad. Didn't we have one last week for like
Yeah, there was a different
14,000 or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's some of you over here, and some of you weren't, it's like after I left, next day,
Next day, he sends this way, he got another update.
up,
Yeah, this is a lot more practical and doable.
the first policy would be the deductible,
25,000.
Okay.
That policy, once that policy is exhausted, then the next policy kicks in, the next policy. But when we talked about it, we had like $14,000 put excess, like, I was shaking my head to the ones over here, and y'all probably heard me,
Mhm.
then the next morning, another quote in.
Mhm.
Y'all need to talk about
So this is basically $1 million total coverage, cause you,
1.5,
1.5.
give you 1.5
Yep.
flood,
And the first one's $2,500, 25,000.
actually
deductible.
1.6.
Should be the total of 50.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
All right, motion to
Okay.
approve.
Motion, Mr. Seal.
Second.
Second, Mr. Hoffman. Any further discussion? Vote to motion.
Aye.
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 Aye. Passes 6-0. Thank you, sir.
John, one comment,
Yes, sir, Mr. Rossetti.
once they get everything in the building,
Mhm.
or the content, you can contact me to see if we can tweak that out. That was an assumption, cause we don't know.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
likely, the likelihood it's gonna be over 100,000 for contents on that building,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
based on what
Yeah.
we're seeing.
At least
Computers,
3 times,
software,
yeah.
just
So,
all that stuff,
I think we're
yeah.
meeting with them tomorrow morning at 8.
But- When we get that, we'll just get him a schedule and stuff to ensure, yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank y'all.
Sounds
Awesome.
good. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
John.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate it. Next up, motion to appoint Melanie Hotard to fill a vacant position on the tourism board. It was vacated, I think, in January by Miss Cindy Noblock. So this will be filling that vacant seat.
Okay.
So, 'cause I think they had some questions asked about it the other day, so,
Okay.
um,
She's
And-
the only person, I guess, that wanted to.
yeah, she was sent over from some other ones on the tourism board.
Okay.
As a recommendation, and sent her resume, so.
Yep, and I looked it over, and she's involved in the community.
Yes, she is, so I'll entertain a motion on that.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Seal, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Zimmerman. Any further discussion? My only discussion would be I'd like to thank Ms. Noblock for her service and time on the board and everything she's done, so.
I appreciate that. I'll
she's
pass
not
that on to
here,
her.
But I think somebody can tell her for us.
Yeah,
All right.
Give
Thank
her a
you.
hug for us.
Yeah. All right, we'll vote that motion, please.
Aye.
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 Aye, passes 6-0. Thank you. Consent agenda items A through H. Any discussion on that? That's some pod lines back in them elevators we gotta
At
get.
the elevators.
Yeah.
Are we currently using tasers?
You have tasers.
They are using
They
them?
have tasers. They just don't have enough. There's some that need to be swapped out and extras, because we've added police.
Cameras.
Same with cameras.
Motion approved consent agenda.
Motion, Mr. Seal. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reed. Any further discussion? Vote to motion?
Aye.
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 Aye, passes 6-0. Thank you. Proposed budget workshop. That's to set a new date for one, or? On the agenda. Number 4 says,
No, that's,
Are we going through the budget tonight, or is this?
Yeah.
It's the proposed budget workshop.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, let's
It's
start
now.
on that. It's now.
Now,
Let's do it.
108 pages now? As you came out?
all them new checking accounts y'all been keeping open.
But it's all split.
Probably at the next meeting, there will be a motion to open up a new checking account.
know, right?
There's an
I think it was
MOU.
like
Gotta
20
have it.
26 one time?
It's a requirement. It's in the MOU for that Capital X fund. I spoke to the Department of Finance today on that.
Why y'all got so many damn checking accounts?
There's
Let's all
one
close
more
them all.
coming.
I know, right?
If we hurry up and
It
spend
honestly-
it, maybe we can
Yeah.
open it and close it in.
I know, right? Revolving,
It says
that's why they
separate
call them
bank account.
revolving checking accounts.
God,
One of my questions was the new revenue and the VRBO compliance fee. I seen one thing in the events, page 7, it's 12650 events. Is that something we're gonna start funding for?
what,
Certain
what now?
Paid what?
12650 was the number, page 7.
Second to last, page 7, second to last.
Promotional event service,
17,000.
17,000. Is that part of that 100,000 revenue there, or what is that?
What's that for?
That's what I was saying, yeah.
That's not, cruising the coast, correct?
No,
No.
that's under
No.
tourism
This
22.5.
this is something that's there with, if we wanna help sponsor thing, whether put on events, to try to, promote the city or whatever, whether it's in magazines or whatever, it's there. Again, everything would have to be approved before it's spent, and that it's not just to go out and fund Joe Blow's party or something like that.
Little Miss Poppy.
Yeah,
The only slippery, that's a slippery slope when you start doing that, which
Who do you
event
fund?
do you fund and
Yeah.
which one you don't?
well, this is for,
Well,
we're
city
looking at
events.
city funding, city events.
So it'd be
where we
like a city
promote-
sponsored event, if we have a band,
Ye-
could we do, I mean, if we had a city sponsored event and we
Yeah.
wanted a
That's a
band,
good example.
How many
Yeah.
events do we sponsor?
I don't.
We don't sponsor any.
They-
Currently, yeah. But
We have,
Is this a
we do
budget, is this budget neutral?
yes,
I mean, is this balanced right
Yeah,
here?
it's balanced.
yes. But we do have events, but we get donations for most of it. Let's just say
Mhm.
New Year's Eve, fireworks. It's a city event, but then we also, city doesn't spend a penny on it, except, show-
Well, my thing is,
you know,
on
But-
things like that, and, everybody's got a different opinion. When you start funding events, I like the generosity of the public in Bay St. Louis. But if you start getting into this funding events, then there's a lot of people that don't go to these events, but they're paying for them.
But, yeah, and you're right, but it also brings people to the city and all, the advertisements, whether it's in magazines or something, Southern Living Magazine, take an ad in that, the Neshoba County Fair up there, their flyers or whatever that goes out, where it puts Bay St. Louis out there along with others.
I know, but we have a tourism bureau that does that now.
So,
That's
again, it's something that putting out there, it would have to be, anything would have to be approved.
And those funds were coming from the 100,000 new revenue from
Yeah, that
the
could
fee,
come,
huh?
It was in there on the first meeting we
was-
had, when we went over the general fund departments.
Must have missed
So
it
the,
then.
the extra, the 100,000 came out, I think, the last meeting of discussion on VRBO, short-term rental. So we added in that 100,000 to add the extra police.
Okay.
That was
So
also
either way,
discussed
yeah.
at one of the previous
Yeah.
meetings.
That money's just going back in the general fund, that's something that, can say that's helping do.
Okay.
But on this budget, we've been through the entire thing once.
Yeah.
But some of the highlights on what we're looking at. First thing, we have 5% across the board raise for everybody. Second, we brought public works and utilities minimum wage up to $15 an hour. We talked about that when we looked at getting outside in,
Right.
and outsourcing and all. One of the things they did, their minimum pay was $15. We said we'd look at it and all, and we've been looking at it and all, and it's just time to bring them up. We're not getting people for $12, $13 an hour to come work, and, just think it's an opportunity to move up and all.
I think vacancies right now, if
Yeah.
I remember right.
Third thing, we took police officer, I don't remember the number, but it was the bailiff warrant officer position. We took, I think it was set for $18 an hour, we moved it up to officer pay $21.50 at 88 hours of pay period. Second, we took the HIDA position, moved that to an officer, it was already at officer pay. We moved that to officer hours, the 88 hours. With these two positions, they're not full now, but this will give us 2 more positions in the patrol office.
Will we still belong to HIDA or still be part
No,
of the program?
That's
Okay.
the city.
That's
And we'll
the
take full funding.
We have full funding. It was in the budget, full funding this year
Okay.
at 80 hours. The part we do have coming in from HIDA for expenses or revenue coming in from HIDA is for our DEA position. They pay all the overtime there, plus his vehicle and all that.
So that's still gonna be there?
That is
okay.
still there.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
This was-
that is still there.
Okay.
So that's a couple of things. Next, we talked before, I think in the first meeting, we have an officer going out on military leave. He'll be going probably to next June in that area. So we already had in here to replace him with a full-time position. Have him in for, fourth of the year, the last quarter, when he comes back, cause we must hold his position, and next year we'll fund his position as a whole. So that's that. And the last thing we've done, we're looking at adding 3 more officers. What this will do, right now, these other 2 positions is gonna free up to where that's gonna give us 4 officers and a sergeant per shift. So we'll have 5 people on the street per shift. Also, our lieutenants work shifts, different things, filling in here or special detail and this and that. But what this will do with these 3 officers, we have a 5th sergeant position that we'll take and put with these 4. They all come under patrol sergeant, as far as that goes working. But to create a, what do they call it? It's a 3 to 3 shift, 3 in the evening,
Like a swing shift?
swing shift, 3 in the, instead of 6 to 6, it's gonna be 3 to 3, 3 in the evening and 3 in the morning, be 2 officers every day. So what that's gonna do, essentially, I call it another night shift, because it mostly is night, but it's gonna give us 7 people, 7 officers on the streets from 3 o'clock in the evening to 3 o'clock in the morning, and 5 officers the other hours.
Now, this will cut down on overtime?
It should cut down
Because-
drastically on overtime.
Okay.
That's one of the things, because again, we do have people wanting to come, and we think we're gonna be able to fill these positions. Matter of fact, hopefully next meeting, the HIDA and the bailiff, we believe we have 2 people wanting to come soon, certified people. We will ask if we can go ahead and amend the budget so we can bring them in now for the rest of this year, and bring that.
We need them.
So essentially, we're adding these 3 officers plus the other 2, we're creating full-time. That's gonna give us 5 officers per shift, 7 officers from 3 in the evening to 3 in the morning.
That's every day or
That's
mainly
7
Thursday,
days a
Friday?
week. They will work that Panama shift, just like the rest of them, except instead of 6 to 6, their hours is 3 to 3.
Hmm.
And I think that Panama, they off every other weekend.
Yeah.
They rotate the weekends.
They might work 5 days this week and 2 days next week, or 4, something
Well,
like
like
that.
they work a Monday and Tuesday, they'll be off Wednesday, Thursday, work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then they'll be off Monday, Tuesday, work Wednesday, Thursday, and work
Something like-
Friday,
yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I try to keep track of my son's schedule when he's
That's what they on too?
Yeah, they on the same thing over
So,
there.
so again, it's something that we have funded, we've got the fund. Now, the only thing we've done, we've taken and we're asking to create this fee for short-term rentals. We've checked with Ocean Springs, they charge in a residential neighborhood $500. I think it's 140, 130, somewhere in that neighborhood. They're in a commercial zone. Pastor Shan charges $400. We're asking in a neighborhood of about $250 to go forward on that. That will help fund this. And we also going in, we've taken, we had 400,000 going into the emergency reserve fund. We're asking to reduce that to 300,000. That would give us somewhere at the end of the year, like 1.3, 1.4 thousand, I think.
You've got moved
One
more
point
this
three
year.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
that will be in the emergency reserve fund.
And that's gonna give us a total of what, 5 new officer positions, patrol positions?
Realistically, 5.
Yeah,
bring
3 we
the-
added plus the 2 you switched
The
around?
two that, yes, the two
Okay.
that we've created
Okay.
hours and then increase the pay on the bailiff.
5 new officers.
You'd be at about
And that will also give us
Good.
our bailiff position, which she does the bailiff, the warrants, some of the community work as well, an extra person. She also patrols and works weekends, sometimes work details, you know, and things like that.
And this year, good. If we gotta station people downtown certain nights when they busy, we'll still have 5
That's
people
been a
patrolling
heavy
the other
talk,
spots
you know,
or something.
how
you know?
they do it, whether we take and give us 2 people, you know, in that downtown area, things like that. You know, where we're spending more time down there, especially from that 3 to 3 range.
Yeah,
and-
perfect.
And being able to have them down there, it would still give us 5 people in our zones that they cover as well, you know.
I think we need it for civilian safety and officer safety. It's gonna be good
Yeah.
Yeah.
for both,
So, so again, it's in the budget, it's a balanced budget, it's a conservative balanced budget. You know, we feel very good about it moving forward with this and all. And the only other thing we have is, we added 1 position, new position to the utility department in that area to help us, you know, try to get these crews up and where we do. We've got some very good people. They've been able to do some hiring over there.
Does Ronnie have a supervisor like under him over utilities, or I know
He's
he's
got a
over-
lead man,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
So, Mike, you mentioned the VRBO funds will pay for what?
The 2 officers. huh?
We're estimating $100,000. Again, I think that's conservative.
How many officers?
We're adding 3 officers,
Okay.
but the 100,000 for that and the 100,000 for the,
Less
reducing the
reserve.
emergency fund to 300,000 from 400,000. That gives us 200,000 extra to go along with what we had, and that balances the budget out.
To add all the officers.
And again, you know, when we put the 100,000 on the VRBOs, that was roughly $250. Had no idea what at that time what Ocean Springs was charging, what the other cities was charging. Even at 250, it's gonna bring in,
118,000,
yeah,
and you're looking at 210,000 for 3 officers.
right.
So you wanna enact this fee as part of the budget, not have a public hearing on, and putting these fees on?
We
I mean,
have to
I-
adopt an-
I
adopt an
think-
ordinance first.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
We
we'd
don't
have,
have an ordinance
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Not
ordinance
an
will.
ordinance.
but again,
will
you
require
know,
Public hearing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's got to go through P and Z and everything.
it would have to go through and all and do it, you know. But we do wanna see about, I think we're gonna have that on, hopefully on the agenda, maybe to look at next meeting on the
Make
8th.
it that, yeah, make Jeremy send that out.
I can
Yeah.
take it.
Oh, I wouldn't put it on the 8th. It's gonna be packed.
Well, we got.
With that planning and zoning.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Just be a long night.
So, taking the 100,000 from the, emergency reserve,
Mhm.
how much is that gonna give us?
At the end of next year, it should give us somewhere at least
You'll be-
1.3 million.
So
You'll be
what are we
somewhere
gonna have in
between
excess
1.3,
this year?
1.4.
Huh?
What are we gonna have in excess this year? We already got
1
1
million.
something million.
Over 1 million?
Yeah, I know, but you're not gonna add any more from this budget, current budget?
Yes, we've already put, I think it's 400 or
We
or
put
something
400
in
so far this year.
In the
And there
emergency?
may be, I mean,
in the
again, there's-
emergency fund.
So you're not gonna have any excess money out of this budget? You're gonna,
I
You
don't know
gonna
where
spend-
we're at in this year's budget as far, I'm sure we're gonna have some, you know,
I mean, there's still time to do that.
yeah.
But the kicker is, you know, if you look at the 300,000 in next year's budget, plus what's given this year, plus what we did last year, you should be ahead of schedule from where we thought we would be.
so what's gonna
about
be the
1.4.
carryover amount is what I'm getting at.
Right, yeah, what you
Well,
gonna
the
have left?
carryover
Excess.
amount is there, but I don't know. Sissy has not projected that yet.
When is she gonna start working on that? Cause I know we're gonna have to amend the budget.
Right.
You know, I mean, we're looking at amendments right now. I mean, that's something,
So with the
figure out
carryover,
where
we're
we're at
gonna
on
put
these
that in
different, all these different
emergency,
accounts.
Well, that usually just carries you through the year and all, you know.
Well, that's unbudgeted funds, Mike.
Huh?
That's unbudgeted
But it's
funds.
also unspent fund.
They're unspent, but they're not budgeted. They have to be reallocated.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's why I
Don't
want
matter
that
if it-
number. That we
Don't matter if
understand.
it's there or if it's here.
No, it has to be accounted for and has to be reallocated.
You cannot spend anything that's not budgeted.
I guess we're talking to a wall, Mike.
Nope,
You know,
you're not talking
ask,
to a
you
wall.
know,
Gary?
Those funds have to, Mike, you know, give us the number of what's gonna be excess over.
Yeah.
So it
We
can
never
be
take that and move it because that carries through the year with, when we don't have the other funds coming in until we get those funds.
Usually that carries us.
And if you
Through the-
remember, she
to
stood
advertise
right
it.
there the other night and said, in that fund, you should have 3 to 4 months of money.
Yeah.
In that fund,
In general
Gary?
fund, that is.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Michael,
Hey,
Okay, Gary,
hey. Y'all know each other's
I need to
names.
know
Let's
what the
go.
carryover fund is,
yeah.
what the carryover,
And again, you know,
because that
it-
again, Michael, is unbudgeted
Hey,
funds.
all right, we
and it
got it.
cannot
Let's
be
move on.
spent without your approval, budget
And at some
approval,
point, it would be
council
moved over.
approval.
Yeah, we can look at the end of the
Yeah.
budget season and see what we got and see
Yeah.
where we at in general fund, how flush we
Right.
are with cash
Right, at some
and make a
point it could be
decision
moved.
then. you
Right.
know?
Yep.
I mean, that's,
Yep.
that's always an option on the table that we can
Yeah.
see where we're at, but like for audit purposes, you don't wanna drop it below the 3 months operating
Right.
capital because it'll give you a ding on your audit. Not a ding, but it'll make you look better when they're doing the finances, so. Okay,
So let me get, so we have this carryover. We use it to carry us through until we get our first check in December, January.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Then we could allocate it to the, what we left in there, to the emergency fund.
Yeah,
that what
y'all
we're
have
saying?
that
Yes.
Yeah,
option.
we can do whatever.
Right.
mhm.
Once
Yeah.
we gotta,
But like
still
this
have
year,
money
we've
to
already
operate
moved-
with
Right.
until we get our first
Till we
big
get-
check.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but we're still collecting sales tax, casino revenue.
Yeah, yeah.
That never stops. You're still getting
You just can't.
building fees.
Right. You
Yeah.
can move
And all
some to
that.
reserve fund and move it back if you need it, right? I mean, it's,
Yeah.
we do that.
So
Yeah.
this year, we budgeted a $400,000 transfer from the general fund to emergency fund. That was made.
That was fulfilled.
Last year, we transferred 664,000 from the general fund to the emergency fund.
Yeah.
And then next year, we're budgeting another 300,000 through the budget to go to the emergency fund.
are we
That's why you-
collecting
you should be
interest on this
close to-
emergency fund?
Huh?
Are we collecting
It
interest
should
on
be
this?
somewhere, you know.
Shoot, we need to put
between
in
that
Hancock
1.3,
Bank,
1.4.
5.5% interest for 8-month bond,
Yeah,
8 months.
I think
5.2
community's got a
CD.
little higher rate.
Right?
5.258, we
I
need
know,
to,
right?
need to look at it for real. If we got- But we fixing so many projects rolling that,
Yeah.
I don't know how, we gotta cash flow a bunch of
Yes.
grants coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's not for the emergency fund.
No, it's not for the emergency.
No, that's
So
what I'm saying.
again, that's what also bankrolls those.
And I think we agreed for the
Okay.
emergency fund being excess casino and stuff revenue, not every extra revenue we have being that, if I remember correctly.
Well, we took some out
still-
of
we got
payroll.
regular reserve accounts
yeah,
still we can put it
took
in
some
too,
out of
not
payroll
emergency
and
reserve.
put to the emergency fund,
Mhm.
but we also took that as well from the casino going in there to create
Yeah, 'cause we discussed that.
for a
which
true
is-
emergency fund,
Yeah, mhm.
which should not be used
Right.
for pet peeve
Okay.
projects.
Yeah, that's for the emergencies, okay. All right, what else we got? Where we left
So,
off at?
so with that, those are pretty much the highlights of the budget for the year.
Okay.
You know, we can start, however y'all wanna do this, take general fund, go over everything there again. Through all of the capital projects and the special projects and modernization, all that, to the utility, to the harbor.
We discussed some of my
Yeah,
things
I
on
would
the
just comment that,
modernization.
you know, through the 4 meetings that we've had, the comments that the council has made along the way, that's what's been amended and changed. And you kinda heard from the mayor's comments, you know, the council asked for more officers. That was something that came up at one of the meetings. I forget which one.
I think Josh mentioned something
you know,
earlier.
Yeah,
The
we
VRBO
were
came
looking
up in
at.
another one, you know, so those are things that we've kind of taken and just put it back in.
and my
Other than
stance,
that,
yeah.
everything else is still constant.
And my stance on that is they making money with VRBOs, I don't have a problem charging them a fee, period.
and
know,
again,
it's a business.
you know,
I
we
mean, they
always
make
look
money.
at it to
If they
where
wasn't, they wouldn't be at 500
somebody
down.
threatens to
Big
sue us because we're gonna do something, but every city does this,
Yes.
Right.
mhm.
you know?
I-
So
Yeah.
the threat, you know,
That was my,
again, we need to get
Right,
past
first
that.
time.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna sue you if you adopt this, okay,
Yeah.
right.
you know?
My right
Nobody
first time
wants to
was-
be sued,
Nobody wants to stand
Well, I
there.
and
think we-
nobody wants that, but
Yeah.
if that's the mentality, how does the other cities, we're the only ones that don't do it, a lot of this.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and
So,
we sit here on the back burner looking, a lot of our complaints is VRBO driven.
Yeah.
You know, so,
and with this
tax-
one,
you know, and create what we need to, make sure, you know, the inspections are done on these places, that it has everything in.
Yep.
Which if they knew, code should
mhm.
have most of that, but some of the things like, I think maybe Ocean Springs now, you know, your fire alarm system's gotta be monitored, just like a
Huh.
business,
Mhm.
you know? You gotta have fire extinguishers, and I don't think it can be, it's got, the ones that must, you know, you have to have inspected now. You have to have, if you're on stilts, you may have to have a rope ladder to get you out of the window down 20, 25 feet,
Huh.
you know? But it's those type things that, you know, we would have to put in place and see.
And I asked a long time ago, and it's always been that building codes never required a second set of steps for an egress, but can we do, just like we do with other things, can we do more aggressive than what they recommend?
I'm
Or,
sure we could.
I mean, cause
Um,
that's the
you know,
biggest
your
safety
windows-
issue back
your
there.
windows now's gotta be bigger
Always had to have-
to make sure you can
Nope.
fit out of it,
Every new house back
Yeah.
there's got one set of steps.
almost, there's very
Wow.
few got in.
I mean, I thought
Very,
with
very
COVID you had
few.
to have two.
Doug, I thought
You
you
gotta have
had,
two
I did too.
egresses, but they consider the window the egress, but you're 25 foot off the ground.
Right.
So,
I never
That's a
figured
long
that
drop.
out.
yeah,
I thought you had to have.
I thought it was too. I
me
mean,
too. I've asked
really
many
I
haven't-
really
times.
did, I thought that was, you know, something you had to have, but evidently you don't.
They said no, but I mean, something we look at adding to it to make it a little,
Yeah.
just for safety. I mean, cause
Right, yeah.
90% of the houses now have the living room, kitchen, all that, and your bedroom's on the back. So when you first walk in, you walk through all that area, your sleeping quarters are in the back and your steps are in the front.
Right.
Well, most of them back there right now, so. But, okay,
And again, the other thing we would look at is on the utility, you know, we sat through the meeting last week and everything with that. We're all looking at probably about a 10% increase in the flat rate, which is $3 a month to help offset some of these expenses with the cost of everything going up as well.
who we plan on sending to inspect these things? So we're looking at adding somebody in the fire department, like a fire inspector or something, or what's our plan?
It's a position possibly, you know, I think a couple years ago, we looked at trying maybe to add a inspector to that. Is it something we can take again? When we put these fees in place, we can use them for what we need. And if that's an opportunity now to do that, I don't know. But you'd still have your fire that can do the inspection,
Mhm.
your public,
Building.
building department, you know, they still do the inspections.
Yeah.
You would also have, you know, the police that can, you know, do their surveillance, you know, inspections on whatever, you know.
Well, with the extra officers too, it should give them ample opportunity
It
to
should give-
address some of
It
the
should put plenty of them
parking
in
issues.
neighborhoods.
Not like parking, you can park on the streets, if it's a wide street, but I went down, was it Carroll? They parked on both sides of the street, so you still gotta stop to let somebody go. You can't go down the street. To me, once you start obstructing traffic, you should be against the law no matter what, but I guess it's not. I mean, 'cause I went down it twice this week, and both times I had to stop and
Oh,
let
wait.
somebody come around, cause they parked on both sides of the street, so you only got
What
one.
is the law when you block the street, you gotta cross double lines to go around?
Yeah, you know, is that,
Or
that's,
go put no parking on one side of the street and make it single.
I don't know, I'm asking the question, 'cause I don't know what the law
I don't.
states, but I know y'all said once it's over a certain width, you're allowed to park on it, but if you parked on both sides, you're obstructing traffic.
We can do, if we need to have no off-street parking, special event parking, something.
I mean, it's a wide street till you put a car on both sides.
Yeah.
Then it's
We
pretty
run into
narrow.
a problem where, in some of those areas where they just leave their boat in the street.
Mm-hmm.
So now, after that, we've addressed that on a bunch of them, so they leave it hooked up to their truck.
Seen one of them.
on the street. So, you know, is there a way that we go tell them, hey, trailers can't be, whether it's hooked.
Can we put, you can only park on one side of this road, not both sides or something? I mean, you know, one
Tried
side.
that on the mountains and it didn't work.
Yeah, they
They hated,
hated the sign,
they hated it all.
but they don't care if you park on both sides. I was shocked, you know, trying to help them out, you know.
On, on 350 County Road and Bridge, you have
What page is that, Gary?
SMPDD paving plan service for 40,000. What's that for?
Is that to redo what we did a couple years ago or something?
What
That,
page is
that would be an update if we
We'll do an
choose. That's nothing saying we're gonna do it, but if we wanna do it, an update on that, that's that. And if you look, we also have, the redistricting and other things that we have in the budget,
Carried it forward.
we moved, carried forward from this year. That's in our beginning cash balance. It was,
33,000.
33 for, and 30 and 100 for something. I'd have to see what it is.
Rezoning.
Rezoning.
That gave us a lot of good information, and I liked it, and we was doing the bond at the time, but I don't know if I think it's needed at this
Yeah,
point.
that's
I don't think
something,
it's needed
again,
right now, 'cause we're not,
That-
we're not
no-
planning on doing a bunch of paving
We're not saying
soon
we're
or
doing it,
anything
but
else.
there's money there if we choose to do it after we get.
I'd
through.
like that taken out. We don't need that in there.
Mhm.
It would just
And I'd
be
like the
moved,
17,000 taken out also for city events.
that
I mean,
would
if
just
pe-
be more,
it's the couple
more
of
to the
counts.
good.
What's that?
Mhm.
Just be more to the good.
More to reserve, huh?
I'm just saying that
Or,
we just got a whole bunch of roads done,
Mhm.
and I just don't see budgeting $40,000 on the side on something that I don't think we really need right now. It's up to y'all guys.
I'm
Y'all
good
gotta
with
say
taking
something.
that
with
out. The
Huh?
event thing,
I mean, I think once you start taxing people,
yeah.
the whole event they may or may not go to,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you're going down that, that's the same thing as funding an organization or 501c.
Um, That 40,000, you think no one's fund the inspector position to go inspect all the VRBOs and do all that kind of stuff, or what?
Well,
Yeah, it'd be-
I mean, 'cause
That's-
we can barely keep up at building inspections right now. We haven't replaced Mr. Tommy yet, so to put more burden on that department right now without additional personnel, I think would be unrealistic, to be honest, you know?
We're not gonna
That-
increase Tommy's position with
Yes.
additional people?
Yes.
Yeah, we got refill
We're
time.
taking resumes right now. We do have a few that's in. We also have a part-time person wanting in. Just trying to
That's
get resumes in.
A
and see what
part-time
all
might
that.
be good to do inspections and stuff like that too, maybe.
Pretty good too.
I mean, that's what, if we could take that 40 out, I'd like to see maybe it fund something like that. That would be useful.
the kicker is that 40,000 is in the road and bridge fund.
Oh, it's coming out of road and
Coming
bridge
out of road and
money
bridge.
too,
You
okay.
just have to move it,
Yeah.
you know, if you want.
Like I said, I just like
Not
to
for
see
that.
it
Not for
out the
that, okay.
budget.
Yeah.
I don't see that we need to do this at this
I mean,
point.
y'all can do whatever you want. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I used it religiously every year when we paved every year, and y'all get road and bridge money every year. So you should be paving something every year,
Oh, yeah.
so that you don't have to, do a lump sum, $6 million, big, huge
No, I
pavement.
agree-
You
I
ought to be
agree with
doing a
you.
little bit.
But I don't think we need somebody else to tell us that we need to go pave
I
this
can tell
road.
you my bad roads.
Yeah, you still got a list, huh?
Gary, what page was that?
That is 75.
5.
It's on the road and bridge.
And the bad thing is, even with 260,000 a year, 280, you don't get a whole lot of paving done for that.
No, that's basically potholes and cuts
Exactly.
and utilities.
Yeah. that's
Well,
what I
or
like.
But y'all can do- I mean, you could just
whose
roll-
budget does that come out of?
Yeah.
When
What's
they
that?
cut the street?
Generally for us, depending
Coming
on
out of
who,
No, no,
who
does
it
that
is.
come out of utility budget or does that
That's
come out
utilities.
of public
Yeah.
works
Yeah.
budget?
Like we had to go
Some
do a-
in it too,
Gibson,
from
was it?
Public Works, drainage problems, this and that, but try to take it out of utilities.
It's generally utilities.
So
We had a contractor come
And
in
that's
and do
one
a
of the
lot of
things,
those.
again, that's one of the things we'll also look at. When we split these lots, we create a lot of headaches, a lot of expense in the city. So
You got
Ronnie's
it.
putting that together now.
Impact
When we
fee.
split a lot, we have to cut roads, do this, tap. It's so far down where our people can't handle it.
Mike, how far down are these things?
Man, Garrett, anywhere from
Could be
a few
anywhere.
feet to 10, 12 feet, some of them.
Wow.
And that's when you gotta get the boxes in and we're not capable of doing it, with our equipment and everything and with the boxes. So we need to pass that cost on, especially people splitting lots. Now, we're going down this street, city gets missed it whenever they did the sewer and all is one thing. But whenever we split lots and we allow people to split it, they making a whole bunch of money. And when they develop that, they should be responsible for the infrastructure coming in. If we have to cut the road, if we got to have an outsider come in, and that's what Ronnie's trying to put the cost together now.
I had to do it past Christian.
Huh?
Past Christian requires you do it, I had to do it myself.
Really.
I split into 6 half-acre lots, but I had to
And
put
it
in
should,
water, sewer,
you know,
and
you're
develop a
essentially
plan
creating a
and
subdivision.
any cuts in the roads I had to
and-
redo and redo the road,
And we see that a lot, you know,
part
where
of the development.
that and gas is another thing, you know, everybody, it's just a hot water heater.
I may be way off base with this, but I think they should have a minimum depth for the service people that's gonna get the use of it, to use a higher depth for us to tie into instead of using those depth,
Down.
those deep things. It would cost the work and the wear and tear on the utility system, having up and down and up and down and up and down with the.
Yep.
Really?
But yeah, that,
No,
Gary will have,
You know, in other words,
Ronnie will have that.
have their top pit like 4 feet deep,
Mm-hmm.
where you can get in there and work on it, get it underneath the ditches. And let them pay for that part and then pick it up on this side, on the city side of that price that they got to turn off and earn on. Have it going out to the street and have us picking it up. But,
So when we have the other increase, we'll have that as well. But that, yeah, that's a good thing.
All right, so you're gonna remove the 40,000 off, SMPD paving plan service?
And I guess just put it back in the road and bridge.
We'll just put it towards, I could just switch it from the, like more of a professional service to capital.
Yeah.
So they can use it for street paving.
Exactly, there you
So
go.
again,
It'll just be in that account
in that-
used for whatever.
budgeted for it, if they'll do a street paving project, the funds are already there, you don't have to do a budget amendment.
And like the 17,000, I know Waveland did a big fireworks show or some event last Labor Day or something, and, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't spend that on that, but I just, not hear a whole lot of citizens complain about them doing a event like that, you know,
Well, they do many events they sponsor.
Waveland, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, it was a city-sponsored event, like I say, the whole event was, I think, city-sponsored, so, just for discussion, anybody else have any comments on that?
I mean, that's, it can't be spent unless we allocate it to something anyway.
That's what I'm saying, I mean.
So for now, we leave it in there, the 17,000, and if we don't spend it on anything, we don't spend it.
Come up with a super plan, maybe we
Then
can do something.
It'll go into the, reserve at the end of the year.
That sounds good to me. I'm good with that.
Any other specifics?
Any other changes that were made or?
No, all that's been in there. The main thing from here was additional 3 officers.
Yeah.
What,
That's
what
the biggest
maintenance does the harbor master plan on doing, this coming budget year, based on that report that, Mr. Seal did?
As far as what now, Gary?
He did that big study
Right?
The harbor
of the harbor, and there's a lot of deficiencies in the harbor from just, day-to-day maintenance, boards rotting.
They're steadily
they had all
replacing boards. They've already started, replacing boards. But, their plan is to,
I'd like him to give us a report on what he's planning on doing in the next budget year, because there was a lot of deficiencies in the harbor that are outside of the, repairs that are being done.
okay,
I just don't want it to all of a sudden surprise us, and then you got a big major issue, and you haven't been keeping up with your day-to-day maintenance, like replacing boards and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just using boards as a general.
no, but that's probably a main thing.
That, and little electrical stations, and some of the corrosion and stuff that, that's showing up.
Yeah.
I haven't been out there either, but how's the pier holding up?
The new one?
The pier,
I mean, they just finished the new gas docking thing.
I hadn't seen it since they got it. Yeah, I need to go back down.
Alright, any more questions on the budget from the council?
I can email them if I find them.
I emailed y'all my concerns, but we addressed that, so I'm good. I would just like to see us focus on a lot of drainage this year with some of the other funds that we have coming into us.
And just, so I did talk to the Department of Finance, just want to make sure everyone knows that capital expense fund, the 250,000, I did ask, can it be used for pickleball courts? Can it be used for replacing windows in City Hall? The answer is no. To that, it's strictly infrastructure, and infrastructure would be defined as utilities, streets, sidewalks, drainage.
We'll have
So-
sidewalks running with the pickleball courts.
What if the sidewalks
And,
ran
and
between
with
the pickleball?
that,
You can walk
and with
on.
that being said, I think it's on page 80. The modernization, it's in 89. Is it? No.
89's modernization.
That's modernization.
Sewer modernization.
Yeah, but the 250,000, what page is that on?
That was in the,
It's back here too somewhere, it's on my utilities. Anyway, it should, that's
thought
the
that was
one,
in the new account, I thought, wasn't
it
it?
is,
We opened
it's
up
a new
fund
account.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's in that, but that money can be moved to anywhere it need to be spent.
Yeah.
But that's where it was put into that account. It doesn't mean it can be spent in utility account. If we move it towards roads that needs being done or drainage, it can be moved there. Again,
That goes back to that 400 account versus 100 account that dealt with our audit.
Yeah.
So we've set it up as a 400 account to receive that CapEx fund.
Yeah.
But if the council says, no, we don't want to spend money on
Mike,
utilities,
it's 89, the modernization use tax.
we would
Yeah.
just we'd have to do a budget amendment and move it to the 100s, which is more of the general fund type of stuff.
Okay.
and with the modernization, we, it's took and it's moved to two places. One for utility and one on the general fund side.
Yeah, then we'll do like,
Roads, drainage.
Just for roads, drainage, that type thing. Again, it's 25% to utilities, 75% to there. Again, that money can be moved from one account to the other for anything that is capable of doing as far as, infrastructure on that as well.
yeah.
With the, infrastructure and stuff, do we have anything budgeted, or what is our plans for, community hall? The extension of that parking there and,
Stanislaus, we're looking at doing that over there with the money left over from the depot project, along with Depot Road and all that.
not Stanislaus.
You're talking about out front.
The community hall.
Yeah, we've looked at that some, just trying to figure out if it's worth the money to increase a few parking spots in that. But no,
You
we
were
don't
getting
have
into a
any,
lot of drainage, sidewalk work.
we don't have
if you
anything
tried to do-
budgeted for that,
Mhm.
but it is still
Uh,
in thought.
I would almost think if we just paved it, and it was more of a load and unloading zone, cause you figure a lot of times the bras and stuff like that might pull up there and,
That and
dirt and bars
handicap,
for
you could
stuff.
probably do, or access, for loading, unloading the court and those type things, where they would have, I guess reserved parking right there for them,
But I
You
mean,
could create a designated drop-off that would be for like
Yeah.
a limo.
even if we're gonna pave it, like I agree with you, Mike, we should be paving something every year.
Mhm.
I think we need to go ahead and pave it, cause it's
That's
a big old
also-
water.
If we can get this
Yeah.
at Stanislaus, when we get this taken care of, we're hoping that guy can go down there and run that paving down the side,
Just-
down there as well.
from the sidewalk.
Originally, we were trying to get it where the parking
We wanted to put.
would be kind of
straight-in parking
90
for-
degree coming off the road to create
Mhm.
extra spots.
It's a
The problem
pretty-
is, that's when
pretty
you start
big
moving
expense.
electricity for street lights, there's sidewalk in there that have to be there's drainage that has to be done. So all of a sudden, you're looking at a $300,000 cost to add like 10 spots.
Instead,
Is it really worth it? Or
but
you can leave the
parking meters on
load the
that
park in parallel.
Uh-huh.
Better put some parking meters on those expensive spots.
Yeah, but
just
you can
pave
leave it parallel
Give 'em a parking,
and more designated,
golf
still put
cart.
some curving for the limo driver to come in, but you don't have to get into the drainage, the electrical.
yeah.
And that's what the last conversations we left it at.
Well, without the parking, won't we just go ahead and pave it?
Yeah.
Because it's, like I said, it's a water hole now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
agree.
paving.
I mean, I think that's kind of,
You probably $30,000 just to pave it compared
Yeah.
to 300,000 to move everything.
Exactly.
I don't even know if it would be that with this guy coming in.
Okay.
He's doing Stanislaus area already, just
Yeah.
right
Get
there.
him while he's there, that, and the
Make it
Depot Road
part
and
of it.
that.
So how
We may be able to
how
use
long,
those. We may be able to use the Gulf Coast.
how long are we
Restoration
waiting on
Fund to help do that.
Stanislaus? Because, I mean, we could go and take some of the road and bridge fund and just go ahead and pave it.
We're just waiting to put it together, get the contract, get with them, and get it back, and then we can move forward on that.
Do we have a timeline?
Hopefully in the next few weeks we get it.
Okay.
I know they've been working on it. Jason finalized his plat for what it would look like, so we can send that to them along with the contract.
All right. Caitlin, put that on the second meeting in August. agenda. Let's look at it.
Okay.
When do we have to have public hearings and stuff on the budget? What's that date?
I didn't bring my calendar, so the budget calendar that we've kind of approved and we've been following at the August 8th meeting, the council would hopefully accept the proposed budget, and at that point, set the public hearing. Then we would run, I think it's have it in there, what weeks we run the ads. And then I think it's maybe it might be the first meeting in September is your public hearing, and then the budget is accepted and done before September 15th deadlines. So all that's in that calendar I sent out and that we had on the agenda. I can resend it.
Okay.
You don't have to resend it.
I'll
got mine
resend
in
it.
the office, I just didn't have it with me.
Any other questions on anything?
I don't have any at the moment.
Nope. Good.
Any
Again,
other?
I think we have a good budget. We increasing where we need to. We're bringing public works, utilities pay up to where we hopefully can get those positions filled. Cause, you know, there's no doubt Ronnie's doing an excellent job with what he has. And when you consider he's a third down probably in positions, it's just, I think he can do very good in that
Oh, yeah.
department and everything and all. You know, again, his proposal is to get this in here and get to where we can have regular ditching crews, culvert crews, working areas where we can move projects forward and all and that. You know, one of the things we're looking at, and been trying to find is someone that will come in and do driveways for us when we go in and replace culverts or this and that. Sidewalks, you know, to come in, but it's just, man, just, I don't know, I guess nobody's hungry.
Elsy's not doing it. I mean, I know every
Man,
once in a while we get them.
I tell you, I like old Martin, but I've been promised for 2 or 3 years to look at things and all.
Right.
It's just hard getting him,
Yeah.
you know, and I know he had his accident and this and that, but
Some of them.
he did the last project.
I mean, I know he was doing stuff for us.
Yeah, and it's just, we just need somebody to say, you know, when we do this, we can go in here and
Right.
tear it out, put the culverts back in on the driveways and this and
Right.
that, move forward. We just need you to be there to come do
Right.
it. And all, and I think Ronnie's trying to get a square footage price to say, okay, you know, we'll have everything, you just come buy the concrete, charge us for the concrete, cause we don't wanna get into buying it and this and that.
You know, the problem with concrete is that on small loads, they charge you. I mean,
Well, it
it's
would
gonna
be
be a
one-
minimum per pour, almost $1,000.
Well, it wouldn't be like one driveway, but when we come through and do them, might be, you know, a couple, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Yeah, you gotta get like a whole
Yeah.
truckload.
Yeah, I don't know, probably the minimum's 3 yards. but-
Well, no, it's 5.
5 now?
Yeah, I got stuck twice this week.
You should
Hey,
go-
man, we'll waive the $200 delivery fee if you buy 5 yards. That's like, how much a yard? $150. That's like, I'd say,
You should've brought the extra to me.
I just don't have a project ready for it, so
Right.
I just have to.
But no, it'd be where, you know, we would have enough projects put together, and that's what, the last one I think Mark did one, he did a couple driveways, some pieces of sidewalks as well,
Esplanade.
and to make sure
Dunbar.
he can get what we need and all,
And they make like little yard and a half
that we can go get. now.
concrete carts you can go pick up.
Where
and
can you
pull
find
back.
that at?
Fazio's, I think, on 53 does.
Oh, yeah, but that's a
Yeah.
drive.
Mhm. So, what about, think you can hire somebody that might be able to finish concrete and just have us an in-house concrete
You know,
person?
we had somebody that was doing pretty good, but he moved up.
Promoted them up, huh?
He's our code enforcement guy.
See,
But yeah, you know,
I mean,
and
we got 8
again, in each
positions, they ain't better
position,
pay a little bit extra
that's
for
one of the
somebody
things
that
he
can do
wants
it.
to look at is trying to bring somebody in.
That could do that,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
'Cause-
hopefully with some of the pay, we can get, somebody, cause again, it's, we got people that wants to work, willing to work, most of them.
yeah.
So we just gotta have someone that can do it. Jamie can do it, but then we're taking Jamie off his machine or the other crews and all, so we sorta killing ourselves on that.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard that, Slidell has a cutting edge on doing that stuff. All their culverts are concrete culverts instead of plastic culverts.
They do,
They do the driveways and everything, and they've having success with it. Might want to go over and take a look at what they're doing and copy it.
I think it may be 18, I don't remember what they told me, it's either 15 or 18 inch minimum, no matter what, but it's gotta be concrete culverts installed. No more plastic or metal or anything it's gotta be concrete.
Bring that to the next meeting.
They're expensive, but once you put them down, they're there forever.
They're just heavy as all get out.
Yeah.
Concrete
You
ones.
have to have a backhoe
Yeah.
to do it. You can't do it by hand.
Take two
Concrete
people-
or that C900 pipe, I think would be a good alternative too.
It takes two
My
people.
buddy
to-
might have been
35.
talking the
Yeah.
other day up there, he come by the office, was talking about that heavy duty pipe.
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
Water
That's
pipe,
the
sewer
35.
pipe, whatever, that big thick stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy was just up there at City Hall talking about that the
Yeah.
other day.
That stuff's good.
That's a half-inch wall.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just bad to the bone. That's all.
It's
tractor
expensive
trailers
too
get
and
involved
heavy,
doing
but
it, didn't break.
It's
I wonder what
Permanent.
the cost of that is.
Well, it's easier to manage than,
concrete's probably
fine.
cheaper than that right now because of all this ARPA money out in the world.
Boy, I ain't thought about that.
And gas is back up $3.20 a gallon, so
Yeah, why is that?
all that oil petroleum in that pipe. But
It jumped, what was it, 40 cents, 30, 40
Good.
cents?
yeah, last week
Overnight.
probably.
Last week,
289, I think it was.
Went
Yeah.
from 79 to 19,
Pulled out like man. So
and I was on empty too.
yeah, me too. $105. But all right. You have anything, Chief, or what? All right. I think that'll do
Glad
good.
to
I'm
have
sure you feel the same way.
don't
huh?
tase me, bro.
Light 'em up,
Yeah.
light 'em up.
I used to like that video.
Sometimes it might be warranted.
They approved it.
Now we'll be getting complaints that we've got too many police out there and they're
Yeah,
doing their job.
catching everybody,
That's gonna
catching
happen.
everybody.
That's coming.
I,
Oh, yeah.
I promise you, it's gonna happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You ain't got enough. No, they stopped me. They got too many.
And the
Yeah.
same ones that's griping about
Picking on me.
VRBO's gonna be griping because we charging them.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing.
That's why you
Gives
gotta
them
do it
something
right,
to
'cause you
gripe
can't make
about.
them happy. So,
Yeah.
do it right and it
I went
falls out like it
around and
does.
around with one. Don't think nobody should be allowed to build on that street because it's only 11 foot wide. Well, they shouldn't have let you build on it.
Yep. So,
They didn't complain when they bought a $5,000 lawsuit, cause it wasn't paved, it wasn't.
yeah. Any other budget questionnaire? You got anything, Mr. Reed?
No,
Good.
sir.
All right. You ready to adjourn?
Ready to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, somebody?
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Reed. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Noblock. Vote to motion.
Aye.
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 Aye, pass 6-0. Thank y'all. Woo.